Welcome into another video, and this is my first official Chicago Bears Monday morning recap, and it was pretty bad. Chicago Bears got absolutely mollywopped by the Detroit Lions, 52-21. Some stats here for you guys. Caleb Williams was 19 for 30, 207 yards and 2 touchdowns with an interception. DeAndre Swift had 63 yards. Rome Odunze, a clear standout here with 121 yards on 7 receptions and 2 touchdowns. But, I mean, let's go ahead and take a look at the Detroit side of the ball. 7 yards average per carry, 5.2 average yards per carry, 334 yards, 5 touchdowns, 23 for 28. Amon-Ra, J-Mo, both over 100 yards. Genuinely bad stuff. That's just nothing you want to see there. It's nothing you want to see there. And this is like, I feel like I'm taking this better than a lot of Bears fans. And I preached to you guys. I fucking preached to you guys during, like, over the last month. Patience. Like, I understand it's hard to have patience with this franchise, but I feel like the ones who are truly mad at the world about the last 2 weeks are the same ones who are projecting them to win 11 wins and make the wild card, win the division. Like, those are the people who are truly mad about this. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like I enjoyed getting my fucking asses kicked by the Detroit Lions. That sucked. That fucking sucked. Like, it wasn't a fun game at all. The Minnesota loss wasn't a fun game at all. But I preached patience offensively, especially offensively. I did not think that this was going to come out looking like a well-oiled machine, but I think the Bears have deeper problems. Like, it's starting to be very apparent that Ryan Poles, which has definitely deserved criticism over the last couple seasons, but Ryan Poles is now really starting to look like a bad GM, and we probably had our Bears blinders on. I'm sure most of the league has been saying that, and now we're tied to him with an extension. Let's go ahead and just look at the first 3 rounds over the last 4 drafts. 2022, Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Brisker, Velus Jones. 2 of those guys didn't play football today. Kyler Gordon, a very good football player, injured. Velus Jones off the team. Let's look at 2023. Darnell Wright, Tyreek Stevenson, Gervon Dexter, Zach Pickens. Zach Pickens off the team. Tyreek Stevenson, bad at football. Gervon Dexter, I don't think he's that bad, but nobody's been saying his name. And I'm a big fan of Darnell Wright at right tackle, but still, year 3, a lot of mental mistakes. Let's look at 2024. You have Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, Kieran Amagaji. Kieran Amagaji did not dress today. Caleb and Rome played very well. I enjoyed their performances today. And now in the big 2025, you have top 10 pick Colston Loveland, second-round picks of Luther Burden, Ozzie Trapillo, and Shamar Turner. Ozzie Trapillo and Shamar Turner were healthy fucking scratches. Luther Burden had 1 catch for 5 yards. Colston Loveland didn't even have a catch. What the fuck are we doing here? There is a serious talent evaluation problem within the Chicago Bears. Now, like I said, I've been preaching the patience. I figured Luther Burden was going to be somebody who needs to be eased into this offense, but Ben Johnson needs to get Colston Loveland more looks. And I've been a fan of Ben Johnson's offense for the first 2 games. This offense continues to shoot itself in the fucking foot with these penalties. It is absolutely infuriating. The penalties drive me nuts, but I think this is just the offense being out of sync. When this offense is in rhythm, which you can kind of see on those first 2 opening drives over the last 2 games, when they go down there, put up 7 right away. And then there's flashes throughout the course of the game of the offense being in rhythm, and then a penalty, a huge penalty. I mean, how many times has the Chicago Bears been like 2nd and 34? Today, holding call. Very next play, face mask, 2nd and 34. Caleb Williams throws a pick because he's trying to do too much. DeAndre Swift, fumble. They're driving. This is what I'm talking about. The offense isn't in sync. There's no rhythm in this offense whatsoever. And I was expecting that. That is what I was expecting. I did not think that this offense was going to be coming out firing on all cylinders over the first couple of games. I still think this is going to take time. I've been saying, I think by week 7, we're really going to start to see this Bears offense move. But like I said, I think they have bigger problems because the defense looked terrible today. Jalen Johnson re-aggravating an injury. Who knows when Kyler Gordon's going to come back? TJ Edwards aggravating an injury today. Tyreek Stevenson looks terrible. They cannot generate any pass rush despite having the number 8 highest paid defensive end and the number 18 highest paid defensive end in football. They can't generate any pass rush from the interior. Granted, we played some pretty solid offensive lines and we did take advantage of Minnesota's terrible backup left tackle last week, but you got to do better. You have to do better. You're a top 10 paid edge rusher in football, and you can't generate fucking pressure. You're a top 20 edge rusher in football, and you're not generating any pressure. Ryan Poles has continued to just slap Band-Aids on this defensive line without making any real progress at developing anybody or landing anybody who is worth a shit on this defensive line, and it's bad. It's bad. There's no true playmakers on that defensive line. There's not. None of them are good. None of them are good. People were freaking out and loving Dio Odenigbo after week 1, but school sucked. Skule, or however you say the backup left tackle. Did you guys just see what happened in the Atlanta game? They had 6 sacks on J.J. McCarthy. They're not paying 2 edge rushers top 20 money. Bears fans need to start realizing there is a few players on this roster that are not going to be a part of the Ben Johnson era for long. DeAndre Swift being one of them. Swift is a very reliable back on the outside, but he cannot get anything going inside. Costly fumble today. False start on the very first offensive snap to start the second half. He is not a serious ball player in my eyes. I do not think that DJ Moore will be a part of this team in 2 seasons. And defensively, you're going to need an entire revamp of that roster. Edmonds and Edwards are okay. Byard looks like shit. Brisker can't stay healthy. Kyler Gordon has now missed multiple games over multiple seasons. Your best defensive player is battling an injury this year, and you have nobody on your defensive line worth a shit. Grady Jarrett, I like the guy. He's old. They couldn't stop the run today. They couldn't generate any pressure. It was terrible. It was terrible. I think that there are bigger problems at hand than Ben Johnson. I'm being serious. I think Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams are going to figure this out. That's about like literally the only thing I kind of believe in on this team right now. Moving forward, offensively, they need to start feeding Colson Loveland. That's a guy who I think is going to be around this roster for a long time. It was great today to see them finally run the offense around their top 10 pick wide receiver, Rome Odunze. That is a positive coming out of today. I thought Caleb looked a lot more accurate, a lot more decisive, and Rome Odunze looked like a true number 1 wide receiver in this league. Those are pretty much the only positives I have coming out of today. And I'm being serious. Because when you lose in that fashion, there's not much left to be excited about. There is genuinely not. But like I said, I believe in this process. I believe in Ben Johnson. I believe in Caleb Williams. But this is looking more of like a retool over the next couple of years. And that is also kind of scary because Ryan Poles, to this point, has not proved that he can properly evaluate talent. He has a few good hits, a few nice, he handles the money well. In the haul of a trade that has essentially landed us not many big names yet so far. So Ben Johnson needs to have a lot more say on this roster than he does right now. I have no idea who's truly calling the shots in Hallis Hall, but if it is Ryan Poles, things need to change because, like I said, I think this is going to be a complete retool. I think this is looking more of like a process than we expected it to be. I had them only at 8 wins. You have 10, 11 win guys and new playoff guys out there. You're obviously a lot more upset about this than I am. I was expecting a slower start, but at the end of the day, I have serious concerns about this team moving forward the rest of the season. I have serious concerns about this team being in the hands of Ryan Poles because it has not looked good, man. It has not looked good. I believe in Ben Johnson. I believe in Caleb Williams. I believe in Rome Odunze. But outside of that, there is not a lot of promise on this football team right now. I think Ben and Caleb are going to figure it out. I think that this offense will be looking a lot better in the next coming weeks. I truly believe that. They have played 2 very good football teams, and they have a Dallas Cowboys team coming up who just went neck and neck with the New York Giants and, looked good against the Philadelphia Eagles, put a lot of points up on the New York Giants, who probably have a better defense than the Chicago Bears. So the Bears have a challenge coming into their house next week. It's, for you playoff truthers out there, it's a must-win game. For my 8-9 prediction, it's a must-win game. The Bears need to win this game, and there's just, there's still just a lot that needs to be fixed, and we'll see if they can pull it off against Dallas. But overall, that's just all I kind of have to say about this situation. Hopefully these recaps can, be a lot more detailed in the next coming weeks, but there's not much to talk about other than just rant after you get your ass whooped by your division rival. The Lions just wanted it more. on Sunday. That's it. It's as simple as that. The Lions wanted it more. The Bears were not ready. The roster is not that good. And it's a big week with the Cowboys coming into town. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another video. Power rankings tomorrow. Got another video coming out later tonight. You guys have to see what that is. But once again, power rankings tomorrow. Dynasty talk tomorrow as well. Big week 3 ahead of us. Enjoy the Monday night football games tonight. 2 really good games. And I hope you guys win your fantasy matchups. We'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.